What is going on? You, two, world, Steve, Vinny, Dave, our good friend Jeff Morris. Already, he's ready and raring to go. Um, in the chat. Um, episode 131 underway. A melancholy one, if you will, as it were.
Yeah.
Um, I'd say we we lost a. I know Vinny lost a family member, but at the same time, it feels like one for us too. Um, especially being a pup. So tonight we're going to talk about, as you saw in the um, descriptor box, as it is, time. What do we always want more of? That doesn't matter if you're a dipshit influencer or a regular schlub, a true collector. Everyone in the game of life at some point and or time wants more time. So if there'll be some toilet flowers, unicorns and rainbows again with the memories, but if you're looking at an algorithm or a chart, there might be more peaks and valleys than the Appalachian Mountains. So,
which is appropriate because I'm from the Appalachian Mountains.
See, all the puzzle pieces go together. Eventually, if you mash them hard enough, they fit. So, if you're expecting sports card advice, if you're expecting hot takes, if you're expecting recaps of particular shows and generic chatter, you might want to leave now and find another show to watch. Again, we go to the deep end of the pool. We don't just skim the fucking top like a lily pad. We are
Balls deep.
I'd say belly button deep, at least. Like the guy in the subway car. I don't know if I sent that one to you, Steve. That was a good one. Or no, you're in the group chat, so you might have seen that.
I've seen them all.
See, and you're just like Michael. You're a fucking dick. You're a goddamn cock. Oh, this is in 2018. This is 2023. I've watched them all, and I'm like,
no. That is not. See, you read into that, sir. No, I've seen all the ones that have been put in the group chat.
Okay.
I've seen all the ones that you have sent. So no, it's not that I've seen them all. I'm not up to snuff on all the rigmarole that happens day in and day out.
Yes.
So okay. I've seen all the ones that have been posted, and I can always tell when you're on a rampage because then my phone, it's like, zzz, 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 and I'm going, son of a bitch. I was like, okay, is that Dave or is that Paul? Which one is it? And I go look real quick, and I'm like, of course, it's freaking Dave. He must be on the shitter at work and have nothing else better to do right now.
It's usually right before bed, and I'm like, okay, let's see. Kids getting hurt? Great. Cute pups? Great. Somebody getting hurt? Great. Somebody doing something horrendous, like sniffing their belly button on a subway? Everybody needs to see that.
No, actually, we don't.
that was Chris the Simpson artist disturbing for me.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
If you get a physical reaction out of any of those two, you're like, oh no, oh. And you watch it 4 or 5 times, and you get the same reaction every time. You're just like, or your muscles tense up in the area where somebody landed or got hit. I'm like, that needs to be sent immediately and possibly twice, just to make sure everybody sees it and you get to deal with it.
Some of those make me cringe.
Oh God.
Cringe actually is an understatement because when it's in the nether region, I feel like in those situations, I like have to swallow them back down. Because that's the first thing I think of. It's like, oh, yep, you just swallowed them. Push them back down. Swallow them down. Swallow them down.
Getting up, walking around, just being like, oh, mine are good, but the one that goes off what's the old school toy? Merry-go-round. And the dude right into the pole. I'm like, oh my Lord, that's where I would be buried right there. I just right on the playground. Bury me right there because I'm getting up.
Yep, stick a fork in me. I'm done.
I think there's another one. I don't know if I sent it. There's a pogo stick guy. I was jumping like super high.
You sent that one, and of
That
course,
was another one that I'm like,
he's trying to do a trick, and of course, that he
didn't work out.
testicles on pogo stick.
Oh, it just.
Yep.
It's like the jackass level of Hans Moleman, the man getting hit in the groin with a football. It's just like, if you're a dude and you don't react, you've never had, thankfully for you, you've never had much experience or any experience getting swacked down there with any shape, form, or fashion. Baseball, bad hop, football, somebody's foot coming around on a
Hockey puck.
What?
Hockey puck.
Yeah, that could leave your future plans in definite disarray.
In jeopardy.
Remember the ones that used to roll that had for the street hockey?
Yep.
That had the rollers on it. We used to cover them in water and put them in the freezer. So when you put them out for the first couple minutes, you had a nice glide to it. And when that thing got teed up, and you're not wearing certain apparatus, yeah, not fun.
Got my biscuits.
Yeah, both of them.
What? Got your biscuits? Are you wearing your cup? No. Well, anybody else not wearing their cup? The whole freaking team runs to the locker room.
No,
happy birthday, better half. I already sent you a text, but I figured since you're in the chat now, I'll say it out loud for everybody to hear.
Yes, happy birthday.
I'm going to have to say, though, playing sports, being hit, kicked, playing soccer, you get kicked there more than what people have a tendency to realize, especially those with very little coordination, or a nice slide tackle to the testicles when you're a goalie. I will have to say, Charlie jumping on the bed and landing on my nuts, I think hurts worse than any of those. 85 pounds of freaking just like thud. It's like, oh my God. Not a pleasant experience, not a pleasant feeling. And then, of course, it's like, oh, I'm sorry. What do I do here? Let me lick your face and then step on it again. You're like, can I catch a break? We won't sing.
You sure?
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, better half.
Happy birthday to you.
And many more.
Thank you.
Our numbers just drop.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Ugh. Yeah, you're not leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scott, that's oops, wrong one. That one right there, that's a little scary. That's a little scary.
Yeah, that's rough.
Especially if it was an actual cup and not like a red Solo cup.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, if you got
Jeff's throwing dingers at us now too.
Yeah.
something.
She did a 360 and came back around. The worst one was when I was warming up a southpaw. He threw about 87, and I wasn't wearing a mask, and I was sitting there warming up, and the coach said something to me, and I turned my head a second, and then I turned back, and all I saw was the ball, and I got my glove up enough where it tipped off the glove and hit me here, and I'm like, I think I'm okay. And my buddy was like, "You're bleeding." I said, "Huh?" And I go to take my glasses off. Well, my glasses are embedded into my forehead. So I had to go like this and pull my glasses off because they were stuck in my head.
Huh.
Heh.
That was one of my fondest memories of catching, because that's about all the action I got was warming up pitchers. Yes, correct. I am not that much of an athlete.
Thanks, better half, for your commentary.
Yes.
Love you.
For 13 years and never got hit in the face once.
Birthday cheer in the building.
And my box of medals are in the basement. I'm sorry.
They're right behind the graded Lemieux.
The PSA 10s.
Yeah.
So many.
Yes. So for the record, Dave, because Vinny fair warned me, he doesn't have the earbuds in. He's got the good old microphone speaker thing going. So better half in C can hear the entire show.
She's in her room. You're good.
I was gonna say, so this precludes me from swearing, or
No.
No, you're good.
I was just letting you know. Of course, I told Vinny, I was like, I will make a commitment to try and keep it PG. But depending on the topic, there are no promises. Because as we know, I have a tendency to swear like Dave does.
No, not you, Angel.
Kiss my ass, better half.
And you wonder why I like Dave more.
Everybody she likes Dave more than me, probably.
The reason you like Dave more is because you don't get to hear Dave's smartass remarks. You always hear mine.
Right. I have that tone, or you have that tone, I should say.
But it's all in love. It's all out of love.
It is.
well, yeah, you just talked about it, Vinny. You literally just talked about it. Dude for the Royals up there. Foul ball. Right off the plate, so his face is over the plate. Boom, right, and hits him in the nose. And he's like, oh. And then blood just starts pouring from the nose, the bridge area. I'm like, oh. Yeah, right in the middle.
We playing that.
I played outfield that game too. They stuck me in left field, where
Right
nobody
field,
right
where all the
field.
balls
Yeah,
go.
where all they stuck me in the field where nobody hits the ball, right field. Because we were playing.
That's why I always pulled the ball, because the crappiest fielder was always in right field. So I made sure I purposely pulled the ball.
Why I pushed the ball.
Pulled. I'm a right-hander.
I was not. That's why I said I always pull, because the right fielder and the second baseman are usually the worst players on a girls' team.
Well, it is in softball or co-ed softball or regular men's softball. It's the same. Sorry, Dave. Go ahead. Raise your hand next time. I said
Raising
your
your
hand,
finger.
Dave, not your finger.
So with the JV, that's where Naomi and the other seventh grader, they've been flipping like right and second. So yesterday, of course, girls, I don't know why. Same with boys. Maybe because it's too many cell phones in their hand, can't fucking communicate. I've told her it many a time. Call the ball. So pop fly shallow right. Second baseman's going out. It's somebody different at that time. I think it's like an 11th grader. And she's backpedaling, and Naomi, of course, she's running up, and then they like don't catch it. But just about. And so, and after the game, I said, "Why the fuck didn't you call it? That's your," and right in front of her coach too. So I'm like, "That is your call. That's your ball." Second baseman's backpedaling and trying to look over the shoulder. That's your fucking ball 10 out of 10 times. And he's like, "Yeah, you come in, charge, and call. We just worked on that the other day. So then why didn't you fucking say anything?" And of course, sorry. I said, "No, when you get hurt out there, I'm not going to be like, oh man, I'm going to run out there. I'm going to laugh at you because you fucking want to talk all the time, but then you can't fucking talk on the field. Are you guys all mutes? No, talk, communicate." Well, and again, not to specifically do it with genders, but girls seem to talk a fucking ton, especially when you get them together. Just it's like fucking robins and squirrels out there in the fucking nature, just nothing but noise.
Chirp, chirp, chirp,
And
chirp,
so
chirp.
it's like, okay, do that. I don't want to get fucking pissed because you can't communicate out there. That's the worst. But last play of the game, somebody hits it through second and first. She comes up, charges, gloves it, throws to first, and gets her out. And I'm like, holy shit. Wow. There you go. You've at least paid attention to something in the softball we watched. Because they do it a lot more in softball than they do in baseball. I mean, if you've got somebody lumbering like me down the line, you could probably get me if I hit it in the gap and right in center. I mean, I'm pegged at first halfway down the line. But when she did that, I mean, everybody's like, wow, good job. And she's like, oh, okay. I'm like, fucking, you've got the ability to be emotional. You don't need to cry and like, you just want a title. You did something good. Do something. Pump your fist. Dab. Fucking doing them stupid Fortnite dances. Do something.
Let's go.
Yeah. You've watched enough of these idiots, you can talk about a PSA 10. That's my PSA 10 Charizard. Woo! And then do like the what is it? Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck when they do their little jig on the stage with the cane. Do that right off the field. Show yourself off the field. I don't do something, but yeah, I was very excited to see that. And I'm like, the at bats are the at bats. Those I'm hoping will come along over the summer. But she had a bases loaded walk, got called back because somebody jumped off the base early. And then she proceeded to strike out, and she's like, I'm like, you got a bat. You can fucking swing that thing, you know. Yeah, it's there for a reason. So and then today showed you the picture of the thumb. I said, yeah, tomorrow if you're supposed to pitch, that's going to be something you're going to have to deal with. Waiting for her to give her the chokehold. $1 million sleeper. So, yeah, that varsity lost. They didn't look great. Didn't help that their one pitcher that they really is their one pitcher. Oh boy.
She's
Yo,
she's
next-
just going straight for she's just
You
Not
can
the sleeper hold.
two ways how to kill somebody. First, you hold their mouth so they
Mm-hmm.
can't scream, and then they go with a knife. Then, or you could just go behind them, sneaky.
Somebody plays Call of Duty too much. Go.
No. And another way is you can go sneaky mode. Sneaky mode activated. Okay, I'm looting you. Okay, bye. I looted the body. Yeah.
The old
Give them.
Zeus and Hogan when he like do the neck thing, it's like scream.
Hey!
He's watching too much '89 SummerSlam, even though there's not enough of that to watch.
She forgot what SummerSlam was.
The August pay-per-view, that was fun.
This generation.
You're a failure as a parent, Benny.
Yeah, that's rough.
Okay, I'm joking. My kid wouldn't know what SummerSlam is either, so I think you're okay.
And I think
Think
mine
you're
would know, but it'd be because we've watched this like 80 times, and now I'm watching the 81st, and I'm not really watching it because then I look over there. Man, Zeus was awesome. Well, obviously Zeus was awesome for me because I'm still sitting on the edge of my seat, and no, so I don't know. The season has definitely taken a interesting turn. Now you really don't have an upperclassman, even semi experienced and established pitcher. So I did message the coach and I said, hey, don't be afraid to put her in. Again, just make sure that you've got some like reassurance by you, the teammates. Everybody's on the same page because you know this could go to shit real quick. I was hoping today he'd call like a team meeting, like we gotta band together even stronger now because a lot of us might be playing out of position. A lot of us might be in positions that we aren't normally in, but we got to keep the ship afloat. So I think game tomorrow. It was supposed to be a game, JV and then varsity on Friday. Now it's varsity only. The opponent has changed. It's not Two Harbors. It's Cherry. And they got a boys side of things. I don't think he plays baseball, but they got a D1 recruit for basketball. For the Gophers, he's going there in a couple of years. But I know the Cherry softball team is at least one solid pitcher. So I don't know. It's tough when you've coached before. When you know, at least if it isn't the game of softball, you know enough of the game of baseball, where it's the same general thing. When you see a lot of just sort of lackadaisical, or you're just not in tune to how the game flow is or the actual game situations. I mean, you have people then tag up. You had people that were running on like one out, so I mean it's a double play, caught, and then you get doubled off. I'm like, if nothing else, hey, I lost track of outs because I had too much else. I was whatever. There's a scoreboard, or you see your coach. Your coach is at third and first. How many outs? Hey, how many outs? I'd rather have you ask, do something stupid, and then cost the team a run or momentum or whatever the case may be. So it's going to be interesting.
Isn't it always interesting, Dave?
Well, this is a different kind of interesting because I'm like, I don't know how they're going to pitch. Now, like their first pitcher out will be an 8th grader. So you have a senior that has pitched the first JV game because she hadn't pitched in how many years. and then she pitched, I think, one of the games in that doubleheader last Thursday, and that game ended up where we won 24-16. So I mean, good player, but pitching wise, and you don't win a game 24-16 because the pitching is good. I don't care who you are.
What? Huh?
I know it's
Whatever.
stunning.
Whatever do you mean, Dave?
I know. All those Randy Johnson games where he was in it till the 8th inning when he gave that 20-second run. He was like, fuck, just maybe next time. So balls that look like bocce balls that look like you're playing bags from half a block away, behind other side of the opposing batter's box. Again, I know they're trying, but this has to be like a ramped up tutorial and like real. You got to find somebody else real quick. I don't care if it's Naomi. I don't care if it's these other girls. Somebody. You got to start instilling a lot of confidence in people quick. Because, like I said, that season could go to hell in a handbasket in the next couple of weeks, and then you're playing somebody good in that first round of the playoffs, and you don't have to worry about the second round because you're going to be out immediately. So, but I think she said she might be pitching tomorrow. So I said, you got to figure that thumb out. I thought it was something worse than it was when she showed me. I'm like, that, yeah. She's like, did you ever crack your nail? And I'm like, yeah, my toe and my big toe and my right foot was cracked down the middle. Said I dropped a brick on it when I was like 5. She's like, did that hurt? I'm like,
no, not at all.
I'm like, no, I dropped a brick on the other one. It didn't break, and I was pissed. I'm like, yeah, I fucking hurt. What? You're smarter than that. Come on now. You're Keyshawn Johnson out here. Come on, man.
It wouldn't matter if you were 5 or 45. No. Dropping a brick on your toe still gonna fucking hurt.
I said, yeah, anytime you kick a chair or a table, you're fucking nuts. You're down and out for 5 minutes. And that's on the good side. Because you just want to spit and fucking punch something and cry and just cuss. And you're like,
yep.
There is still snow on the ground, Joe. I mean, it's not like a winter landscape, but at the same time, where it's been plowed into piles, those piles still haven't completely melted away. So yeah, I told her, and she showed me. It's like what I showed you was just where like the thumb on the bottom here. She got hit there, so I'm like, yeah, if nothing else, super glue and then gauze and a band-aid or something. And she's like, super glue? I'm like, yeah. I'm like,
worked wonders.
Yeah. A lot of people have done it. Like, you don't have like it's not a cut, so you don't have to have like salve or whatever to cut like a UFC corner, man. But I'm like, you need something for that, but you're gonna have to tolerate a little pain. That's not gonna be somewhere, oh, I can't play because my thumb hurts. Fuck you. That's not acceptable.
Oh, come on. She can't milk a turf thumb?
Not a chance.
C played the field with a broken arm or a broken wrist.
Yeah.
They let her, we had to wrap it in bubble wrap. And then basically she had a club out there and she played the field.
And that's, I go to work every day. My shoulders fucking kill me down to my elbows. And that usually translates into like the forearms because then I'm overcompensating. Said you can deal with a thumb that looks like that. If worse comes to worse, the nail will die and pop out.
Yep.
Better half just reminded me, Shelby played with a torn Achilles for how long? Yeah, I forgot about that.
That's pissed off.
She got hit. She broke her nose. Our dog broke her nose. Mikado broke her nose on a Sunday. She had to have minor surgery to have it fixed. And I mean, I remember I had a flip phone. And
Surgery at 11.
Yep.
She was in recovery by 2, and she had a game at 3:30.
Yep. I remember going out on my break. This was this is a long time ago, probably 15 years. So I had my flip phone and I remember seeing a picture and all I could see was her putting a thumbs up. She was good to go. She went 3 for 4 and had a home run. So who'd have thunk it? Play through pain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what a concept.
I said, if it's too
A
much,
concept.
if you get a Tylenol, get a aspirin, do something. Deal with it.
Yep. I mean, we all get it. Shit like that hurts and it throbs, especially if if it's a straight shot to the nail. And of course, the underside, the underneath part of the fingernail starts to swell.
Mm-hmm.
It's that constant throbbing because it's like it has nowhere to go.
No.
So it's constant pressure. So yeah, it hurts. It hurts like a son of a bitch. Doesn't matter if it's your finger or your toes. The shit hurts. But it too shall pass.
Like I said, if you broke your forearm in half and it's like this way, then okay.
That's different.
Yeah. These are things that we can deal with, and you can not play. But if it's a thumb, you jam your finger, whatever. It's like it hurts. Everyone does that. You see the fingernail bent backwards, it's like black and blue, the whole fingertip. It hurts. I still went into work. I didn't say, I can't work for a week. Like, no.
Jamming fingers as a goalie. Ooh. And the minute you have an opportunity, you're trying to freaking pull that damn finger out. Like, with all your might, you're just, freaking yanking on it. Because any sort of contact with the ball, with the jammed finger, that is one of the most miserable feelings ever. Ever.
Mm-hmm.
And I know C can relate to that. That's the one thing that they always try and, any good coach will teach you, do your best to try and avoid jamming your fingers. Because it's one of those in which, unless you know what to do and start, just freaking doing one of those and try and, pull it out a little bit. That's what she said. It just, any contact, catching the ball, fisting the ball with the same hand, even though, man, many a jam fingers in those days, not pleasant. Shut up, Dave. I don't even know where you're going, but I see the smoke, so I know the wheels are turning like really fast.
Doing what to the ball?
Punching the ball?
Punching the ball.
Okay. A little better nomenclature.
That's what I said, punching. I said
No,
catching, punching.
No, you didn't.
What did I say?
What's this?
That's a fist. Okay, so you can fist a ball too. It's the same thing.
You can, but might be a little more painful. You got to go down that road, Steve. Come on now.
It's because y'all and y'all's fucked up way of thinking. That's the problem.
Yes, because I know you've got your Bible verses in your head all the time.
How dare you call me out like that, Dave.
Right on the carpet.
I think you drove a bus over your.
Oh yeah, I felt it. Forward, then back, then in reverse, and then forward again. Wait 5 minutes later, and then here comes back again in reverse. Yeah, I'm
If it was
feeling
the
it.
Michigan Stars bus, it would have just died on top of you. It dropped the transmission on your head.
I'm feeling it. Not feeling the love tonight. Not feeling it. So, in the words of my forefathers, a big fuck you, Dave. Moving on.
I'll fist to that.
You suck. You suck. Yeah, that's pretty thick, Vinny. Come on, man. I set you up. That's what she said.
You said?
Come on.
Right. I
Damn
only
it.
only if she's easy.
Take her twice.
There we go.
But man, I like freaking I couldn't have served that up for you any better. And you failed.
I'm on a 15-second delay for
That's bullshit.
well, I'm on a 15-second delay.
No. Man, I served that up on a
Yes, you
silver
did.
platter.
Yeah. You being the tennis oracle in your spare time, you did set that up quite well.
And you failed miserably.
Yes, I did.
Man,
That
I am disappointed in
Welcome
you,
to
sir.
my world, Steve.
He's usually on point better half, but
yeah, usually with my quip tongue, yeah.
like that's an F. You have failed big time.
Like I always say. And I forgot what I always say. Moving on. It'll come to me in 15 seconds.
Wow.
That's it. That's it.
Moving on.
Now lost it again.
Oh my god, you should stop.
Shit. All right. It's
That's
been a
it.
great show. It's been a great show.
Yeah.
It's time to call it a night.
Life's
Thanks
full
for
of
joining.
life's full of disappointments. Ask my mother. I'm living proof. There it is. Yeah, you can ask my wife too. Yeah.
Ay. It's not often I'm laughing my ass off over here and I'm freaking shedding tears in the process. We all need a good laugh from time to time,
Yes, we do.
even if it's at our own individual stupidity.
And we're good at it. So,
There's never-ending barrels of it. So
This is true. Even Dave laughs at his own stupidity from time to time.
so rare that it happens.
Says who?
The voices in my head. I don't know.
Says nobody.
Hey, now.
The only difference is you just don't start laughing out loud. You start kind of doing one of those internal laughs because you fall back on the couch and you just the demeanor changes.
This is correct.
It's okay to laugh at yourself from time to time, Dave. It's okay.
Once in a
Just don't give us one of those. Okay, sorry.
while. A niece
Too
laughing.
bad. Too bad we don't have a freaking board to start, where's freaking Cardboard Podcast when you need them? Fucking soundboard.
Yeah, where's Mark? Mark and his fancy technology, and Bob and his technological
No.
problems.
Exactly. Speaking of which, and I'm sure they probably won't watch this, but at some point, I don't know. I'm guessing you have Mark's number, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
Last time Mark was on, which was whenever that was,
Quite a while.
probably 7 shows ago, 8 shows ago, whatever it was. And I don't even know what the fucking show topic was. Old school, new school, maybe? No, I don't think it was. It doesn't matter. He mentioned a collaboration with the Cardboard Podcast and the IRP, which, to be honest, I'm a little hesitant because I think we may potentially get banned. But with the
Took
5
words
of
right
us,
out of my mouth.
I just thought I'd throw that out there. So,
We're not
Although-
exactly ready for prime time.
although it would be fun and enjoyable.
The ship sinking would go well. It would be
Yes.
a joyous time.
Yes. We may lose the 102 subscribers that we have, but that's okay too. So we'll still go live and we'll just talk to each other.
I wonder if we could do it on both channels at the same time, like the simulcast or whatever.
Oh,
I don't know.
That's where we talked to Bob about his technological prowess, and then he can hook us up in the right direction.
Hey,
Louis.
hey, Mark, work on that. Just make sure that it's not a record only. Let's not have a repeat of Hobby Palooza, where you thought you were gonna, have a live show and realized it was a record only. That would not be good.
Or the other one too, where they had we thought we were live and we were in there for 40 minutes, half hour, 40 minutes, and nobody's
Nobody's
view,
there.
no comments. It's like, I think after 5 minutes, again, I won't say they're normal, but 2 normal people would have been like, okay, something's up, because usually people are saying something right away. So,
Yeah, well, when you get the 2 of them together, they share a brain. And it may not always be fully functioning.
let's say we're around 5 of 8. So
Much love, Mark and Bob. We love you. It's been a
Yes.
while since Bob's been on the show. We miss you. Well, we miss you being on the show. I mean, we still interact and chat.
once and
It's
again,
always fun. Yeah, it's always fun when Bob is in rare form in our little group chat, because he sends some doozies from time to time. And it's a good thing I'm not in the middle of drinking something when that happens, because I'd spit it all over the place. Lewis. Yeah.
oh, and a message to young Edward Weskergriff. We need to know, or do you need room? And well, not board, but do you need a room? We're the National.
Speaking of that, so Dave, I always love your fucking responses sometimes. So, are you gonna reach out, or do you need me to? Sure. Dave, and I didn't respond because I almost was like, Dave, you didn't answer the question.
Word by word per text, be like, are you going to reach out, or do you want me to?
It's
And
like,
then
holy
that
shit.
isn't a sure doesn't apply to that fucking section, you dipshit.
And I almost responded. I'm like, Dave, seriously? Like, I feel like I'm talking to my 16-year-old. Do you want bagel bites or chicken nuggets? Sure. No. Do you want chicken nuggets? Sure. Well, but you also said sure to bagel bites. Sure. Son of a bitch.
See?
So, Dave, I'm going to call you out. Are you going to reach out to Michael and ask for clarification based on what was discussed last week?
I can.
Okay. I don't care either way. It's
Yeah.
not that big of a deal. It was. I know you talk to him more than I do. Of course, though, when we chat and like start talking, it's like nonstop for what seems like a week and a half or 2 weeks or whatever. Because it's one of those in which I'm sitting there going, okay, Vinny asking a question for Ed. So there's 4 of us plus 3, because you have what are you pointing at me for? Because C is going. You have Trista, and you had mentioned Naomi also going. And then, of course, Mark was like, well, I live outside of there. Maybe I'll just crash with you guys. So then we have Mark as a possibility. Ed, we offered. Still hadn't heard anything. And then, of course, Michael saying, well, and I'm like, wait a minute. My head hurts. The more the merrier.
Yep.
But it's one of those in which we'll have to kind of figure out configuration. Because I ain't sharing my bed.
No hole to hole, pole to pole.
No.
Understood.
Okay. Ty says Myco hooked it up. Okay. Thanks for letting us know, Ed.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Ty is the duly designated representative of Edward Westwood. Well, that's good. We just make sure he's there. So it's what, 84 days? Something like that?
Sure.
Has anybody gone to start checking out the lineup yet?
I have.
So have I.
Because that's I think the Instagram and the NCCS show or whatever the.
So there you go. Joey is confirming on behalf of Michael. So now we've got Joey Burtcat 8. Geez, I can't fucking talk today. Speaking on behalf and representing this film not yet rated.
We got a lot of folks legal counsel in here, but let's get the fucking thing there.
Gozer to Kazarian, good evening. As a duly designated representative of New York City, I would like you to go forth to whatever something to mention. And are you a god? No. That went all right. Then die. Anyhow, it's Ghostbusters. Come on.
Is that from Dogma or is it Goodwill Hunting or
Ghostbusters 1 when Ray goes up to Gozer.
Oh my
Come on.
god! Fuck. I watched that movie.
It was Tombstone. Damn it! Oh, okay. Sorry, wrong movie.
That's Huckleberry, not Huckleberry. Thank you.
Robin Hood, the Prince of Thieves.
My bad.
Or Robin Hood Men in Tights.
No, Scott, I haven't. I haven't seen the floor layout. I hadn't gone that deep
No.
in the setup of the show.
Yep, the setup next to the money tree.
I said it first. Haha, point for me. All y'all can suck it. No, I'm not speaking for anybody else. I haven't bothered to go look, but I did start noticing that they were adding the autograph guests.
Yep.
So
I know they had added a ton of, because I think I sent that to you, what, 2-3 weeks ago.
it's Hoogie. It's Hoogie. Those
200,000
non-settlers.
square feet.
Holy
Moly.
shit.
It was,
Well, no, yeah, you had sent me the article or whatever that it's anticipated to be the biggest of all time.
I like to
And
invite Canada.
excited about the room or whatever, and I'm just like, I don't know. This is going to be odd because again, the last one I was at was in Chicago, and that was fucking 12 years ago. That's when you could freely just meander about at your own leisure and just say, And now you're going to have people just like human centipeding with each other because
Well,
the
the
best
two things I wonder is they've never said anything about selling out and about attendance. Everybody
Mhm.
says the room and board is sold out. Well, that's not necessarily the capacity of said show.
Mhm.
Remember last year, it was like February and they were sold out of tickets.
Mhm.
I've never heard anything about tickets being sold out.
No.
Well,
So-
have you gone on there to try and purchase another ticket though either? I'm just asking the question. Because I know like the super VIP, which is what you and Dave both got because of the
Yeah.
parking passes. Those sold out like within like 2 days or some shit.
Yeah, those
Okay,
did.
I may maybe that's a little over exaggeration, but those sold out like really fast. But outside of that, it's one of those like to me, if there's a set number of VIP tickets, you wouldn't sell enough VIP tickets to cover full capacity of the show because then you're basically negating any of the daily goers who don't give two shits about, buying the VIP pass. Well, Joey, I mean, we could all, I guess, understand that, but I don't want to be like trying to squeeze through fucking people and, I'm going to have to, you have to be methodical in how you do that because, rub up against the wrong person. You just don't know.
2023 tickets are available now. All super VIP packages are sold out. So there's general admission, which is by the day. It's
Yep.
$25. VIP packages are still there, $169. Super VIP packages sold out.
Which is what I
5-day
said.
early entry pass, $149. They're still there, and that's it.
Yeah, but that the early access stuff is basically included in the VIP.
Yeah,
So why in the fuck would you? Never mind. Money.
yeah. I would just get the 5. Well, depends if you're just coming for a couple days or not.
Well, that's true too. That's true. Like I've said from the get-go, I'm going for the fucking people. And if I don't buy a single fucking card, I don't give a shit.
More money for Expo.
No, more money just goes back into our savings account for a rainy day.
Well, that too, but
Yeah, I can't swing 2 trips in a year. My wife would shoot me.
I'll take the bullets.
My wife would still find a way to shoot me.
Hey, you are in Texas. They have the means.
So it's one of those in which I definitely want to go to Expo at some point, even though I'm going to say it. I'm not the self-proclaimed hockey oracle. So therefore, I really don't give a shit about technically going to the Expo because of the excess hockey. But there are people, of course, that live there that I would love to meet.
This gentleman being one of them.
he being one of the top of my list. But it's not to mention, even if, let's say, we tried to plan to go next year, just
Mhm.
hypothetically, I'm pretty sure I need to get my passport renewed, and those are like way backlogged.
Well, Dave, for being so close to Canada, does Minnesota offer like what Michigan does? I have for flying in the 50 states, I have my ID marked and it says cleared to fly. And then I have another thing that allows me to go over to Canada without a passport. Does Minnesota have that too?
Like the
Better have.
enhanced,
What's that called?
What?
enhanced
The
driver's license.
thingamabobber. For on the license that lets you go over to Canada. What do they call that?
No, they don't have that in Minnesota.
So it's just us.
Yeah, it's us in California, I think, in New York. It's
See, we can get the enhanced driver's license.
That's it. Enhanced driver license. Okay, so it is in Minnesota too.
oh, I didn't think they had it.
Mhm.
We have it here in Texas.
Instead
They're
of paying-
doing it everywhere.
They want all you guys so we could go to Mexico.
They're calling it the real ID. Is
Yeah.
what they.
Well,
what they're calling it.
I have two things on mine. I have the real ID and the enhanced license.
We want a cookie.
I would actually go for oatmeal raisin right now. Happy birthday.
It's not your birthday.
I'm
So
saying it to
there-
her.
Therefore, why should she get you a oatmeal raisin cookie?
She asked me if I wanted a cookie.
I'm aware of the question and I'm aware of the context. But your response was ill-timed because it's like, really? It's her birthday. You think she's gonna freaking go get you a damn cookie?
Today you gotta cut him some slack.
Cut Vinny slack? What? Have you met me?
And who's
That's
saying?
like- That's like telling Dave to go shave his head. He's long past that moment.
We'll see.
Those flowing locks there, Vinny.
I'm more like the flock of seagulls.
You're a flock of something.
Well, he flocks with us something. What? Huh? I'm gonna shut up now. So Jeff, I think, well, at least I'm good from that perspective because I'd have to fly to Michigan or Minnesota again in order to drive across the border. And of course, well, in all practical purposes, I'm one of the few Texans who doesn't own a gun. So it's not like I'm going to be bringing my firearm with me because I don't own one. I have two dogs. And I promise you, they get through one, they're not going to get through the other. Just
Well, you
throwing it out there.
tried to buy firearms down there, but they sold quicker than like Panini Prism did a couple years ago.
Monopoly edition.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, I thought about buying a couple of them. Just because new thing, you just never know. I'm not gonna be that douchebag that drives around to every freaking Target in the Metroplex and see how many they have and buy them out. I ain't going to that extreme.
I thought you meant guns.
For a second, I thought that's where you were going. I'm like, they have guns at Target?
I thought, like, fuck, they got
Well,
guns at Target down there? Man, that's no wonder why everybody's got one.
well, they could. They could have rifles. They could have shotguns.
Put on your Target card.
technically,
5%.
because there's no waiting period for a hunting rifle or a shotgun. So
Well, in Texas, I mean, like, when the kid's born, it's fucking here you are. Here's your 30-06.
I must have missed I must have missed that that free
I think-
giveaway at the hospital when I was born. And I was born on an army base, so surely something is fucked up.
There must have been a war going on at that time.
In '79, I don't think so.
The Great War of Crimea. I don't know.
Oh shit. No, I respect guns, but they scare me, so therefore I don't own one.
Yeah.
Never had an interest. Ever.
I get where some folks do need them, but a lot of these people are in the boat of the folks that are on the old interwebs here telling you about cars and what to buy and what to purchase and join my Discord and all this other shit.
What,
They've
like
got the
we do?
baby dick syndrome, so once somebody fucking says, "Hey, you're a dumbass," well, I'm just gonna go get my gun and shoot you. What? There you go. A real man would do that. That's exactly what John Wayne would fucking do. That he'd say, "Fuck you! I'm just gonna shoot you." No, you want to fucking throw down? Throw down. Worse than the worst, and we have to do it that way. But you see so much of that shit in the news these days that people turning around in the wrong fucking spot, and like, I'm in the middle of nowhere. I don't fucking know where I'm going. Whoops, I made a wrong turn. Sorry. Oh, too late. I'm gonna shoot you. I'm not even on your doorstep.
Yep.
Kid goes to pick up his brother or sister. He doesn't know the area, and he's like, "I think this is the house." Shot in the fucking porch.
Get in the wrong car.
It's just absolute fucking lunacy. So that's what we need. More guns to help quell the lunacy. That always works out. It's a big thing up here too, because again now those type of folks are trying to. Again, it's always political. Believe me, I'm well aware of that, and we all are. But
Yes, and we won't delve too much into that.
no, it's when you start getting like the freedom fighters. It's like, oh yeah, they're taking, and yeah, it's exactly what you're saying, because anybody, any group at any time with that type of like notation and that's what they. You guys are all 100% truthful. You're not spinning it any way, shape, form, or fashion.
Well,
They're
that's the
trying to take the Second Amendment away.
no,
No.
but that's the thing. Anybody can freaking pick up a gun and shoot somebody.
Yeah.
Freaking go to fisticuffs, and if you get your ass kicked, you get your ass kicked. You know, most of the shit that goes on in dealing with gun violence, it's senseless anyways. It's for like the stupidest of things.
Yeah.
And then we wonder why the youth is experiencing increased social anxiety. I wonder. Soapbox retract. We won't go into any more details or diatribes when it comes to that, but it's like, fuck. I pulled a Dave. Just with a simple freaking one-word response that just sums up everything. Fuck.
Hey, comment, subscribe, thumbs up.
Hey, Vinny, make sure you tell Dad not to watch the show this evening.
Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea.
He may lose some respect for Dave and I this evening.
As I've said before, he usually says, "Well, look what my boy has caused those two fine gentlemen to do."
No, it has nothing to do with you. Only on occasion. only on occasion do you cause us to go on these tirades of profanity. Typically, it's just
In your nature?
no, it feels right at that point in time.
You do you, Steve. You do you.
Well, I'm going to, like always. And not a damn person out there is going to tell me to be anything other than me.
You won't be influenced?
Never.
You heard it here, folks. IRP.
Nor will you or Dave or anybody else who typically hangs.
This
Okay,
is true.
well, I can't speak for Ty.
Poor Ty.
Ty, go to my eBay, buy everything that's listed. Oh, wait, I have nothing listed. Damn it. Darn. I need you to pay for my trip to National.
Yeah.
You're getting sleepy.
It's
Send
funny.
me money.
You hear these guys, well, if I hear anything, I'll post it on my Discord. Do we have to pay to get to your Discord? Can I just Google it myself? I don't know.
Well, just
You're right.
remember, 99% of the shit that they're giving you, a simple Google search will give you the answer.
Or you read nice articles by Jeff Morris. It fills you in on all the important stuff you need. And he doesn't ask you for your soul in return.
Hashtag facts.
Yeah. I need to be a faithful follower. You are not followers. You are the IRP family. If you're here once, you're stopping by. If you're here twice, you must like it. After 3 or 4 times, you're part of the family.
No, you're fucked up in the head.
Well, that
Let's-
think about the parameters to get in the family. That's pretty much on the charter. You know,
I mean, come on, let's face it. We're all a little off our rocker. Just a titch.
Piccolo. Piccolo.
Muy poquito.
Yeah,
Very small.
Piccolo. Piccolo.
Very, very, very small. Oh, Jeff. Ooh, that's a zinger. See?
Yeah.
Jeff gets it though.
Yes, he does.
Jeff gets it. That's why we love Jeff. And Jeff knows he is always welcome on the show.
We're not quite in the shallow end, but we are in the murky end.
Depends on who you ask, I'm sure.
I won't ask anybody that plays cards, so you know.
See, we all needed a little bit of fun and laughter.
This is a therapeutic time.
Yes. Of course, I wish it would help my back from like continuing to throb. But we got new mattresses. Well, we got a new mattress and box springs. It was delivered today. Vinny knows we were shifting and rearranging crap in the garage in order to put the kiddo's new bed in the garage temporarily. And the new mattress and box springs, because of course we had to freaking bring the old shit out, all that kind of fun stuff. Well, my wife wanted the headboard to be flipped. So our headboard actually has like an insert that can be flipped.
Mm-hmm.
And not really thinking, I'm like, oh shit, this is going to freaking take forever. Got to take off the top part of the canopy bed to then, freaking separate it, to then pull out the headboard, to then like do like whatever. And I'm like, okay, I'm a freaking idiot. There's screws all in the back of the freaking thing. So all I had to do was take the screws out and flip it around and re-screw it back in. Yeah. But yeah. Moving the bed further away from the wall to get part of the shit off the top. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm paying the price. But wife is happy.
Happy wife, happy life, Stephen.
So we'll see how well this mattress does after we wrap up the show and I go take a shower because I know I stink. And then lay in the nice brand new mattress. With a cooling mattress cover. Because I sleep very hot. So yeah. Looking forward to this. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. But my back is still screaming at me. While still trying to work and answer emails, all that kind of fun stuff. But yeah. I did my good deed for the day. Just don't ask me to do shit the rest of the week. Oh, yeah, I guess that doesn't work either because I got to put together a bed on Friday. Yay. Yay. Yippee. You're right. You do it so much better than I do. So thank you, Dave. That setup, man. I set you up beautifully. Man, I'm on fire tonight. Paul, don't fucking do it. If you're still here, Paul, don't do it. Don't do it. Damn, everybody got quiet all of a sudden. If he's here. Does anybody pick anything up lately? That was a question that requires an answer. Not everybody talking at once now.
Yes.
Dave?
It hasn't been for me. It's been for Christmas time. But yeah, it hasn't been much. It just.
Well, I swear I get to the point to where I do this so much nowadays. Yeah, you're probably right, Joe. He's probably preoccupied. I think I let three just go.
Okay.
Not to mention eBay is struggling again with sending notifications. I don't know if anybody else is having the issue.
Or last night at 1:15 in the morning when I'm trying to do the Greg Morris auction, my whole bids and what is it? So you go under bids and offers, it's just blank. Just blank.
Yeah. I let a legacy collection go. It was one of those in which I didn't bother to go back and check to see if I actually had it or not. So
1:15 a.m.
Lovely.
I get that.
Lovely. I missed a red label. Didn't bother to go check to see if that was a miss, because it's one of those in which it's like, obviously, if I was that worried about it or that concerned about it, I would have checked the checklist when I add it to the watch list, or I would have checked at some point. The one that kind of hurts, at least it wasn't a black plate. It was a magenta plate. But it's the first time I've seen a printing plate from Flawless listed. So I thought it would have been cool to have a 101 plate from Flawless, but And I think it was actually part of Plates and Patches, which, you know, that's pretty much where they put all their plates nowadays. But that kind of sucked. But outside of that, it's literally been window shopping ever since this, of course,
Mhm.
as my consolation. I'm trying to I'm trying to be a good boy because I don't want to be dipping into national cash.
No, because I lost. There's another one we looked at. I know, Vinny, you had mentioned it. I lost that one. That ended a few days ago. The big one that went for way more than I thought it would. I lost that. A couple others that I lost. I'm like, what? So I got a couple that are nice coming in for pretty much pennies on the dollar. And again, trying to do Christmas stuff just because I've always said it. If you think about, hey, I want to get something for somebody for Christmas, don't fucking wait till October, November, December. Those are cherries on top, sprinkles on top. That's fine. But get the meat, the fucking bread, the potatoes of whatever you're getting earlier in the year, so you're not sitting there and then you have to think about, hey, I gotta get gifts for family, do all this other holiday time shit. That way, it's out of the way. So, there's one stack of someone, but and it's never like, oh man, I'm getting this for this person and I'm fucking happy and look at me, and because you enjoy the person, you enjoy the, because I know some people probably look at it that way.
If that was my stack, it grew.
Maybe
That is unacceptable. Unacceptable, sir.
don't care.
Well, just remember that's what I'm shopping for at National.
What a
Everybody
story.
else. Everybody else.
And this is of
Is that Vinny stack? Ed's? Brad's? Yours?
for Jay.
Don't do that. Don't unmute yourself to mute yourself when obviously you had something to say, sir.
Don't disrupt his mojo.
Oh, I know who he meant. But nicely done.
He called him by his government name.
Nicely done. But I knew who he was referring to.
We should have donated him to Canada when he was up there.
Yeah.
If we promise not to send the great curator back, can you keep this guy for us?
Yeah. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200 or go to jail. Go directly to jail.
I think the old great curator's been banned from crossing the border. I know he can't cross into anywhere within 600 feet of Paul because he adores him so.
Oh, so sweet.
Dude,
Is that his man crush?
No. A resounding no. Dude, when you make like little stands for your cards that have your own picture on it, the level of narcissism that requires is off the charts.
Oh, Vinny, don't lie. You have those in your office.
No.
Shut up.
I
I've
would
seen
have
them.
I would have a Dave Archer card stand before I had one of this magnificent you see before you. I don't think so.
Magnificent. Okay. I may not have used that adjective. I would have given you some other ones. But magnificent? Le Magnifique? You're all right, but magnificent?
Well, thanks, Steve. I appreciate it.
He is delusional.
That I will guarantee I am.
Aren't we all a little?
Brothers.
That's like calling the kettle black.
Hey.
What? What did I say? What did I do?
Yeah, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You want the shovel to dig that hole?
Huh? No habla inglés. Parlez-vous français?
Oui, oui. Go ahead.
It's always fun when we hear her in the background.
Usually it's on a delay, which is even better.
Well, yeah, because it almost hits different. You know what I mean? We've already moved on to say something else, and then all of a sudden here it comes, and you're like, what just happened? Oh, we miss the days of the better half in the background. It is good to hear you. It is good to hear from you, even when you're being a shit.
Is he talking to me?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Guess what?
Yes. Yes.
I'm protecting
Yes.
you. Stop it.
No, I'm sorry. I was watching the hockey game.
Protecting me from what?
Oh, just wait. You have to sleep sometime when you're in Michigan.
That's what you think.
We're going to be high on Pixie Six and Red Bull.
That's going to be an all-night podcast.
Taking to Tim Hortons in the morning, caffeine you up, and away we go.
That was my baby in the car.
Brr, 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 brr.
No, she said her baby's going to be in the car.
I said, not with my baby in the car.
No, but I do need coffee in the morning.
Yeah. We'll get you Tim Hortons. You've probably never had it. Unless you had it when you were in Canada.
No, but can't be much different than Starbucks.
Oh,
I'm
no.
sure.
It's 10 times better than Starbucks.
Coffee is coffee is coffee.
No.
Coffee
Tim
is
Hortons is, as Jeff would say, is a national treasure of Canada that has been bestowed on the United States. And it is quite good. It's better than McDonald's, Burger King. Only thing that I equivalent it to is maybe Dunk's, which has pretty decent coffee.
Okay, so first and foremost, McDonald's is literally flavored water, so you
Yes,
can't even
it's
put that
horrible.
in comparison.
You have a point there.
My wife worked for Starbucks for almost 10 years. So I've had every freaking flavored coffee or brand of Starbucks coffee that you could possibly fathom. Starbucks makes a good coffee. Here's the thing. I don't drink coffee black. We've already had this conversation. When we get to Chicago, we're going to have to stop somewhere because I need my hazelnut fucking creamer for my coffee. And if I don't have hazelnut, then we better have milk and a shit ton of sugar. So to a degree,
What hazelnut?
Coffee mate. Is there any other?
I don't drink coffee, so I don't fucking know.
Coffee mate. Now richer than ever. Or whatever the fuck the thing says. But so to a degree, when I drink coffee, I'm not drinking it black. So coffee is coffee to me in that situation. But to sit there and bring up McDonald's and Burger King as your point of reference, Vinny, that's flavored water. I mean, that's just as good as freaking, Denton, or I should say Carrollton jail at, 6 o'clock in the morning. Not like I would know by experience. But flavored water is, I mean, there of course would be no comparison.
Jeff has it right. He did the correct math.
Everybody is entitled to their opinion. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one.
But some are right and some are wrong.
No, that is not how that works. That's why they're called opinions. They aren't facts, they are opinions. It is a fact that Vinny is being a pain in my ass. I got your wife laughing.
If it's at my expense, she usually does.
Well, I seriously considered saying, it is a fact that she is being a pain in my ass, but I chose not to. I chose not to. I figured I had picked on her enough this evening. It was time to move back to you. And Dave's being too damn quiet, so it's one of those in which it would kind of like defeat the purpose. So
I've got no opinion on coffee. I fucking hate it. Trista loves it. I get it for her for Christmas or her birthday, and like I think the Caribou gift card or whatever, and I have to go.
Caribou used to be one of our customers.
I don't like doing it. I hate fucking coffee.
So
And I hate
and I can get that, Dave. It's one of those. It's not for everybody. Like that's my fuel. That's my fuel in the morning.
that's what I hear it so much. Like, oh, I can't do anything without my coffee. I'm like, no.
Okay, I'm not that bad. I'm not that bad. I'm not that bad.
I hear that, it's like, oh, I need to have my cup of coffee, or I can't do anything. My day doesn't get started. I'm like, huh.
It's a routine. It becomes routine.
Well, I get that, but I mean, at the same time,
so therefore, it becomes a necessity or a requirement in people's eyes. I enjoy coffee, but like I said, I gotta have my hazelnut because I don't like black coffee. I don't, and I don't care if it's flavored. I could give two shit if it's Starbucks, Tim Hortons. I don't care. I don't care for black coffee, but it would be no different. Years ago, it was Dr. Pepper in the morning, like Jeff and his Diet Coke. Mine was Dr. Pepper in the morning. So others, it's Monster, Red Bull, whatever. But, like Dave, I'm surprised you don't consume something to give you some sort of caffeine boost in the morning.
and that's the thing. I'll grab a 20 ouncer of like Pepsi, but it's not, that thing lasts me the whole shift. So
How
it's
can
not
you-
like I chug
Do you
that
put it
down.
in the fridge, I hope? Do you put it in the fridge, I hope, and keep it cold?
No.
Ugh. See,
And I get-
warm Coke, warm Dr.
End of
Pepper.
the day, there's like you get the little on the bottom, the swill or two. I'll just toss it. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm just.
What, you don't want to drink your backwash?
Oh, there we go. articles everywhere. It's like, no, it's it's very rare that I'll even finish half of it before 8, and I'm there at 4. So I mean, that's 4 hours, and I won't even drink. I'll drink a little of that, but then I'll go have a Powerade because again, at least that's something that.
But you're
I
getting
must-
sugar. It's sugar.
Yeah. But I'm not getting the caffeine.
And you're right. But then see, like me, if I had your schedule, it'd be a full pot of coffee in the morning and a freaking Red Bull on the way.
Couple 5-hour energies. I mean, you're.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it. Beer nuts in your Dr. No beer nuts in the Dr. Pepper. Nope. I'm going to be honest with you, Jeff. I born and raised in Texas, and I have never, ever heard of that. So I'm beginning to think they may have been a little off their rocker, because that is never a thing that I have ever heard. Ever. And that just doesn't even sound good.
No.
I mean, that just. So I'm beginning to wonder if that's an actual Texan thing. Because 44 years old and not once have I ever heard of that. And I was the guy who drank, 5 and 6 Dr. Peppers a day. Back in the day. Day. Oh, sorry. But yeah, no. Like I said, that just sounds gross. That'd almost be like putting Smarties or something in freaking Mountain Dew or some shit like that. Vinny, please tell me no.
No, but it's an idea.
Okay. They could have been yanking your chain. However, I'm going to have to go on the dark web and do some Google searches, because that's definitely news to me. But then again, I did travel to California, to our San Francisco office, which was actually in Emeryville, which is outside of Oakland. And I got asked where I parked my horse when I went to work. So maybe
Yes, BuzzFeed just explained to me that Texans drink Dr. Pepper with peanuts floating in the glass like ice. And we're supposed to sip and eat the peanuts from the bottom of the said container.
Yeah, that. I'm gonna have to put in an anonymous retort and say, "And what universe of Texas are you referring to?"
Yeah, there's usually 3 spots you're like always questioning when you see articles. Texas is 3rd on the list. California is 2nd on the list. Florida's 1st on the list. So any of those, when you read some kind of goofiness coming out of there, like beer nuts and a fucking Dr. Pepper, I'm always skeptical. I'm like, is this somebody in like some fucking hillbilly bar in Lubbock or outside of Lubbock, and okay, they did this here because that's like all they had was Dr. Pepper and beer nuts? Or is this actually like a trend or something? I'm like,
yeah, it's just. And look, it could be. But in growing up and going to restaurants and all that kind of shit and ordering Dr. Pepper to drink and everything else, not once have I ever seen it or been asked,
Mhm.
would you like that Dr. Pepper with beer nuts? Huh? So to me, if it was a Texas thing, it would be something that would be offered places, maybe. No, Jeff. No. That just well, and first and foremost, I don't do salty sweet. So it's like, is it plain peanuts? Is it salted peanuts? Is it, you know? But no, I think I'm gonna have to pass on that one. I haven't had a Dr. Pepper in over 10 years, and I don't plan on having one.
I'm not getting this at all. This is just. I like regular peanuts or honey roasted, and then I'll drink a pop. I'm not gonna put them together. It's not
Well,
like
see,
fucking-
that's
it's like not like wavy lays and French onion dip. I'm like, those go together. That's something that goes together. Extra mushrooms and sausage and pepperoni and peppers on pizza, they go together. I'm not gonna just grab a pepper and have like a ball of dough and like, oh, it's basically a pizza, right? Dip it in some fucking marinara, and up there we are. I don't know.
like I said. I mean, I guess it could be, but I would think that there would be some sort of situation or scenario, go into a bar, go into a restaurant that, to me, if that's a Texas thing, then it would be made readily available as an option in some sort of social outing. And not once has that ever been brought up, asked, offered. And like I said, even if it had been, I would have had to graciously decline.
I might have to donate myself to science next week. And
Does
see-
that actually like really?
Use your words.
I'm at a loss for words.
Hey, I'll try it. Why not? It's for science, man.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like I said, is it plain nuts? Is it actual beer nuts? Because
Or is it these nuts? We don't know.
well played, Vinny. Well played, well played, well played.
Circling back to topic, the topic is time. These are the times you'll remember. They will not last forever.
And see, I didn't. frequent-
Jeff, if you do that, we need it to be recorded.
Yeah.
Okay, well, see, then I didn't frequent pool halls. That was not
Yeah.
my thing. Was not my thing. Bars, Hooters, titty bars, around that time, sure, but it was never an option. All nude bars,
1 hour 39 minutes. Make sure C never sees that piece so she doesn't think badly of her Uncle Steve.
What about our father?
This is true.
Come on now.
may have not worked in one.
What was that?
Exactly. Moving on. Dave, let's circle back to the topic now.
And I thought I was struggling with my words, but holy shit. Like I didn't catch any of that.
That's a bad Scooby Doo impersonation there.
Something. Just remember, Jeff, if you go to San Antonio, don't go to the Alamo and ask where the basement is. You may end up in the basement.
You gone missing.
Of course, did we actually like lose Vinny all of a sudden? Did he like spit up all over the place?
You had some sort of conundrum going on.
In the words of Bob Lewis, I'm here.
He had to go get his Dr. Pepper and beer nuts. Water or Pepsi?
Pepsi, the choice of a new generation.
Says nobody anymore.
Oh, anymore. Back then, we were that generation of X.
What Forest Duke? Technically, I was born in San Antonio. Well, Fort Sam. Fort Sam, Houston. So yeah, Vinny, since you keep, like, so let's circle back to the time thing. At this point, I don't think the topic was just thrown out there. I don't think it was actually going to be part of said conversation. Because what Dave put in the basically in the title, that pretty much sums it up. Everything everybody wants more of is time, for whatever reason, for a multitude of purposes and reasons. Going to San Antonio for a vacation. Okay. Any particular thing you're going to do? Riverwalk, SeaWorld, the Alamo.
Was San Antonio like the short straw? I mean, what were the other options? I mean, Beirut,
Sure.
an option. I mean,
There's actually quite a bit of shit to do in San Antonio, believe it or not.
like leave.
Diet cocaine. Mimosa with Diet Coke.
Apparently, Mountain Dew and Coors Light are supposed to produce a flavorful beverage.
Yeah,
I'll take your word for
yeah, that's going to be the end of that.
it. Yeah, I'll take your word for it.
Well, that might be our second experiment because I got one thing of Coors Light left, and I have some Mountain Dew. So we might have to try that after the Dr. Pepper and peanuts.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, there's actually quite a bit of stuff. Natural Bridges, I think, is the name of the place. Then there's a something caravan thing
Dodge
that's
Caravan.
no, that's like cave tours. SeaWorld in San Antonio is okay. Orlando is better, in my opinion. Fiesta, Texas, I never gone. But too bad you're not going later because Slitterbahn in New Braunfels is actually one of the best water parks. Not that I'm a huge water park person, but Fiesta, Texas is just another Six Flags. But they've got some good stuff. I've never been. And I mean, San Antonio is a 5-hour drive from me. But I like San Antonio. The Riverwalk is, if you want some good exercise and some good eating and drinking, the Riverwalk. And of course, you've got the mall at the far end of one of the areas. Can I name the Six Flags? Wow, Jeff. Probably not. Because one of them is the actual Texas flag. There's Spain, Mexico.
You're halfway home. Come on, Steve. You can do it.
You can
No,
do it.
because I never paid attention when walking in. Yeah, I give up. At least I know the capital of Texas is Austin and not Houston. Anybody want to guess where that comes from a movie perspective? What's the capital of Texas? Austin. No, commie, it's Houston. You watch too much TV. Anybody? Anybody?
Full Metal Jacket? I don't know.
Nope.
So you got the Kingdom of Spain, you got the Republic of Mexico, and the Republic of Texas. What's the obvious one, Steve? We'll give you one more try.
The United States.
So you got 4. And then
Jeff says
Jeff
France.
Morris got France,
Isn't that from the Drunken
and the
Bachelor
last is
movie?
the Republic of Mexico.
Ain't that from that Bachelor movie where all the men go on that road trip?
Wild Hogs.
So two different Mexicos?
Spain,
So-
France, Mexico, Texas. Oh, the Confederate States of America. That's the one I
Oh.
missed.
Yeah, I wouldn't
The
have
United States.
pinned that one.
No, I would not have figured that one myself.
Wow. Really, Paul? Really? You're going to go there? That's deep in the heart of Texas.
The spleen.
The state bird is the mockingbird. The state flower is the freaking bluebonnet.
No, Steve Flower's a tumbleweed.
No, it is not. Anything else you'd like to ask? I'm still disappointed. Nobody was able to name the movie.
What's eating Gilbert Grape?
No. The movie is from Red Dawn, or the line was from Red Dawn.
Say the
Jumanji?
line again, because I should have known that.
What's the capital of Texas? Austin. No, commie, it's Houston. You watch too much TV.
Trying to think of what scene that is.
That's when the freaking young chick walks up on the pilot that ejected and was sleeping.
Oh, okay. I got you. I remember that now. Leah Thompson, I think, or it was Jennifer Grey, one of the two.
It was not Jennifer Grey who walked up on him.
Yeah, then it was Leah. I think it's Leah Thompson in there.
Canton. That would be Canton, Stuke.
That's in Ohio.
Did you read the question, Dave? He didn't ask the Hall of Fame, the Football Hall of Fame. He didn't ask that.
And the largest flea market in Ohio is Rogers. I bought many a sports card there. And they
I
have
bought
fake
a-
Rolexes.
I bought a few cards in my youth at Canton. Jennifer Grey and Patrick Swayze's best film? Of course, everybody would say Dirty Dancing, but
Oh, that's the one.
No.
I mean, Red Dawn was
Red Dawn's
good.
far superior.
Goat. Speaking of our good friend Ghost, I want you to show a picture, Vinny. That's I want to show. So I've got a picture of my pup.
So we got this Monday. So if you have not been informed as of yet, Ghost got, we were in Columbus, Ohio, and Ghosty got cardiac failure. He lasted for 6 days. 2 days before his birthday, he'd have been 11. But he passed away. I just had him in my arms. And he passed away on Thursday. So the people that took him to his final resting place gave us this. And then for the wife's birthday today, my middle daughter, Haley, got her this. So as annoying and as goofy as he was, probably one of the best things I ever did was when my oldest daughter, Shelby, called me in the middle of a meeting on Halloween. She's like, "Remember that husky?" And I'm like, "Yeah. We could have him." I'm like, "Okay." I said, "What did Mom say?" "No." And she goes to me, "But they're going to send him to a kill shelter." I said, "Go get him." I said, "Just go get him." And her and her cousin went and picked him up. And I remember the first day he was here, it was him, my other dog, Mikado, and Dryden. And he got in, they must have not fed him. And he got in front of that bowl like he was the king of the universe that we gave him food. And he was boxing out all the other dogs. So he looked at me like, just gave me that goofy ghost thing. And I looked at him, and somebody told me if you bite their ear, it'll show dominance. So like an idiot, I bit his ear. He looked at me like, "Bitch, please." Yes, I did cuss, Dad. I'm sorry, but it was very appropriate at the time.
So I reiterate what I said earlier. Remind Dad to just miss this one.
So for the next 10 years, in front of everybody, he would do his best to make me look like a fool. But when he was with me, he was definitely the better half dog. But when we were by ourselves and I'd be sitting here, he'd jump on the couch or the bed and he'd just lay his head on me and I would just sit there and pet him. And he would look at me like, "If you ever tell anyone, I would deny everything." And that's just how he was. And
You were his bitch.
yes, I was. But he knew it. He knew I would do anything for him. He knew it. Anything for that dog. It's just like Dryden. Anything for my two dogs. And before that, Mikado. I would anything, because they were more important to me than me most of the time. And then now we got this little thing over here, Galaxy, and he's just yes, I called you. Up here. Come visit. Say hi. Well, you take that from your Uncle Ghost.
Or not.
Won't listen to a command.
From you.
Exactly. But needless to say, it's difficult. It was difficult. And on Saturday, we had the pro game for the team we help out, the Michigan Stars. And I saw the PA announcer, who's cool dude. And I usually, if there's a birthday of one of the kids, I'll have him announce the kid's birthday. So I announced Ghost's birthday, but I just gave his initials and my last name, and celebrating their 11th birthday. And I just had a good feeling after that. It was a draw at the end. I was hoping he would have helped us squeak out a win, but against that club, a draw is a win because they're pretty stacked offensively. And the rain held off all game until everybody else who was safe underneath whatever. And there's me sitting in the rain, taking the rest of the field down. And I looked up and I said, poetic justice, Ghost, poetic justice, just like you would normally do. Dad, I held it off for Mom the whole game, but you were getting soaking wet. I love you. And that's the way he was. I had to think about it, but when you're on that football field, because they play at Romeo High School, which is the football field, the track field, and of course they play lacrosse and soccer there. And I kind of just walked in the rain and watched the lightning on the field for a couple of minutes and felt the breeze blowing. And like you said, those are the times. I remember the times, and it's not ever going to be a day that I don't go without thinking about him. It's pretty hard not to when he was so impactful on my existence. So, best dog you can ever want. He was not for most people. That's probably why he ended up with us. Because most people would have been like, you're an asshole. Again, sorry, Dad. But it's just the way he was. And I embraced it from the day he got here until the day he left. And he knew that, like you guys better have said, he knew it. He exploited it. But he still loved me. And I loved him without any condition. He could be the biggest jerk to me. And it's just, he was like I said, to me, he was the best dog an owner can, a dad. Because even when I called the vet, I said, this is Ghost's dad. They're like, Ghost what? I'm like, his dad. Because I was his dad. Just like Dryden, just like Mankato. Galaxy's grandfather, since he technically belongs to Cecilia. So, and then I have several grand dogs. So I have a plethora of furry. I have a real grandchild, but I have more furry grandchildren than I have real grandchildren. We'll see how that works out in the ratio in the years to come. I've grown very close, and it will never be easy. But it is life, and life is there, and he's... Thank you, everybody.
He's in a better place, brother.
Yeah,
We all know that. Doesn't make it any easier.
With that heart failure, if you've ever seen a dog with it, it's they gasp for breath. In the last 2 hours he was here, he just gasped. And I being having asthma and knowing how when you have to breathe, it was painful to watch me because I've never. It was like he was struggling, and I just looked at him. I said, buddy, just whatever you got to do, man. It's you. And I kissed him, and that was that. He was just I picked him up to move him because he spilled his water, and as soon as he touched the ground, he was gone. So, but if any way he could have went, that was the way I wanted, because he looked at me like, I gotta go now, and don't be upset. But it's, yeah. But like you said, he's a better place. I told my grandfather to take care of him until I get there. And I'm sure my grandma is cooking him steaks and treating him like a king wherever he is roaming up there. Probably ticking off some angels and screwing around with people, because that's in his nature. I always said if we got to name him, I would have named him Demon, like from Snow Dogs, because he had that personality. But he came with the name Ghost because he was Snow White with those big blue eyes. And that was that. So.
As I say, if there's somebody up there, wherever he's at, and they're on a computer, and they're on a Zoom call, you know he's going to be right next to that fucking computer. Letting somebody know, hey, I'm over here. Come on now.
Yeah. There will never be a Zoom call in between the pearly gates that ever goes uninterrupted without like we said in that one Christmas episode. What's that? You got a migraine, Dad? Where could that migraine be from? It's hard to watch the Christmas episode. I did today. And I was thinking I couldn't watch them anymore, because I always go back and watch the videos, and especially the Christmas ones. And I made it through the whole thing today. And that just made me feel a little bit better. So, because everybody's there, and you got to remember good things, not the negative stuff. So. There you go, Ghosty. There's your tribute. Love you, little buddy.
And I will speak for Dave, as do we. It's going to take some getting used to.
Yeah, because Dryden only barks when there's somebody here.
Mm-hmm.
And Galaxy, well, whatever we call his bark, is more of a cat meow and a yip. But there was distinctively Ghost. You knew he was there, and he wanted your attention.
On that note, I hate to end on a partially somber.
We could show. Which one is that, Dave?
It's my Shags from many moons ago. If you watched the first probably year and a half of YouTube, she might be in there. But yeah, that one I can't even talk about. That's I never do well with it, so, and it's been 12 years, so like you said, as long as they're in a better place.
You know, I'll share this and we can call it a night. So y'all may remember, I may have mentioned, but I have been married before. But as part of our divorce, I got legal custody of our dog, Roxy. She was a Peekapoo, so part Pekingese, part poodle. We actually bought her from a breeder. But as part of the divorce decree, I had legal custody of our dog. And she had a rough life. First animal I've ever had that actually got heartworms. And of course, as a parent, you don't give a shit. Freaking if there's options for treatment, whatever, you fucking do it. You don't give a shit how much it costs. You don't care. And they actually treat heartworms with cyanide, if that tells you anything. Now, of course, I'm sure, not as potent, but that's basically what they treat it with. She made it through. She had to have her part of her tail amputated because the person I lived with, one of her boyfriend's kids, somebody shut her tail in the door and didn't say anything. And I come back from a work trip and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with my dog's tail? Oh, I don't know. I just did. And whatever. So, of course, part of her tail amputated. So when we were having the house built and we were staying with my sister and brother-in-law temporarily, my mom kept her because it was easier for her to be with my mom, and she didn't work, so always had. And always loved it when I came by to see her, always excited. And I get a phone call from my mom. We can't find Roxy. Now, mind you, she was 12 or 13 at the time, so she was getting old.
Mhm.
You wouldn't know it. You would never have known it, but she was getting old. So, of course, we can't find Roxy. So, of course, I haul ass over there. I'm perusing the neighborhood, calling out, we put up signs. Of course, we never found her. So it's one of those in which I assumed that she got so engulfed with separation anxiety. Either she left to go find me because she knew it was getting close to her time, or she ran off to die. So my pup that I had pretty much ever since she was born never had a chance to see her forever home. She never got to see the house. And of course, my mom felt terrible. And it's like, what do you do? It's, I kind of found some solace in thinking that, she didn't want me or my mom, because she loved my mom too, like so much. And that's why it was easier for her to live there, because she knew my mom loved her, and it was obvious she loved my mom. But she didn't want to put us through the pain of having to either, put her down or actually, watch her take her last breath. So that's the only bit of solace that I found from that, in telling myself that. But it doesn't make it any easier, because that dog got me through tough times. She was my buddy. And anytime I had a bad day, or she knew I was upset or whatever, she was right there. And she knew when she could lick me and when she couldn't. So Vinny, kind of like what you said, Ghost just kind of putting his head on you. Sometimes that's all she needed to do, and all was well with the world. So I don't. I'm not looking forward to when it's Trooper's time, because Trooper's been with us for almost the entire time we've been in the house, and he's always been. He kind of ended up becoming my dog, even though it was my wife who brought him home, so it was supposed to be her dog, but somehow he's become my dog. And then Charlie was supposed to be my dog, and that's now become my kid's dog. Don't quite know how that works, but yeah,
Dryden,
it's tough.
Dryden is definitely my dog. When we rescued him, he was underneath a table, and she had two rescues. It was Dryden and this black lab. And the kids were like, how about let's change? Let's get the black lab. And I looked underneath that table, and Dryden's eyes connected to mine. I went underneath that table. I slid my hands underneath. I picked him up. I said, pay the lady, let's go. And my wife says he's my soulmate. He's as dopey as I was. And the funny thing is, on his birth certificate, it says dopey. And the kids named him on the car ride home. We got him in Dryden, Michigan. So he became Dryden. Huh, buddy? So that's the Ballad of Dryden. I want to name him Jeremiah, after Jeremiah Johnson, because he looked like a bear cub. And the kid looked at me like, what the heck is Jeremiah Johnson? And that too. So it was I like Dryden, though. It's a solid name for a dog. So
It works.
Ghost came pre-named, and when she was like 2 or 3, we were in Mississippi, and she got this dog, a husky, on a stick that she could actually walk. And I said, well, what's his name? And she goes, Galaxy. So when we went and picked him up, we had the name right off the rip. So that was that.
All right, Dave, wrap us up before we start getting sappy.
Do this, Dave. Do this.
Put a ribbon
Yeah.
on it.
Yep.
Tie a bow on it.
Thank you for joining, chatting, commenting, all the fun stuff. Like, comment, subscribe, send us money. All that jazz. You got a pet the dog. Cat, not so much. Dogs, yes. A lot of times they're much better members of the family than the human people, because they're going to be there for you. Like Steve said, Shags, that when I went through like my initial depression shit, back in like 98, 99, and then more so in like 2003. Always to just come up, jump on my bed, just same position as that, flicker her tail and look at me like that, and grab her and hold her, and she just sit there and let me pet her. So no judgment, no anything, just was there. And that's why this hits home for us, because I can't talk a lot. I will fucking cry. I'm not ever gonna fucking deny that That's why I don't talk a lot about them. Last time with her, because it's fucking 12 years and I still can't do it. So hopefully next week, Tuesday. I think there's team pictures on Tuesday, so they don't have a game because one got scheduled for Wednesday. So we'll be back to our normal time on Tuesday. So we'll figure something out. Again, that's a fluid month. That's gonna be for sure. So constantly look at the time and the date if you're very excited to see us, which most aren't, but I always want to make sure the ones that want to be here know when we're gonna be. So it might be very late in the going, but it'll be up. So by next Tuesday, 7:35 ish p.m. Central Standard Time, we'll be on. So Steve, for Vinny, I'm Dave. We love you, Ghost. Remember, collecting cards, great hobby. The friendships that you forge in this hobby, that's what it's really about. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.